So our process starts with design consultants creating jobs or requesting renderings. I've logged in as Sherry Woodishik. Many of you know Sherry. She's one of our top design consultants. And this is her login screen where you can see there's a change order that occurred yesterday. It looks like Sherry's been deleting her events and only saving the incident events. There are many events that are happening all day long, but she has retained incidents. It's not too bad. There's only a few of them for the last 6 months. So the way she'll start is she can create a new job, and let me show you how that works. Here she can choose the type of job, and we've chosen these. You can set these up yourself any way you want through the master list. But let's just say that we're gonna start a job for her, and we're gonna do a skyline sale. So we'll just say skyline exhibit sale, and then we have subcategories for that. And let's just say Sherry's gonna sell a banner stand. So she's gonna put a job number in, and the job number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We use QuoteWorks to generate our job numbers, and we can check and make sure that that job number is okay, whether it's available or not. And you can see that it is. And then she gets to put in a job description: test job to create a demo. And she can put in the estimated revenue. Let's say it's 500 bucks. The system will default calculate the gross profit is $250. Now here she can select a client. We have hundreds of clients in the system, or she can create a new one. So let's see what that looks like. So we'll go to the add new client. Here we can add a new client from scratch, and the system requests various information. And if we've entered this information and we want to introduce the client, send the client a username and password so they can access the client module, we could do it here. Or if we just want to save the client for now, we can just submit. We can always come back to the client list, and here we can find a particular client, and we can send client intro to a client here, and this sends a standardized letter. You can edit this letter. It provides a username and password, which can be changed by the client. We'll just go back here to this, and for the moment, I'm just going to select a client. This is a test client. It's not a real one. And here we can see there can be an unlimited number of contact people. We could add another contact person. Then we have to, the client need date is a requirement, so let's just say it's going to be needed by this date. The show date is a requirement. Now, sometimes we're selling things that don't actually have shows, but we put this in here as a hard deadline date. And the client possession for us, sometimes we ship it to the client site, sometimes the client picks it up at our site, and other times it's at the show site. So let's just say it's going to be picked up here. If there's show shipping, this is not a required field. We can say whether it's being done by us or not. We can select the art format. We'll say client to upload. And if we're involved in show services, we'll go ahead and click yes, and that sets some other things in place. If there's a client preview, we can choose the date and time. We can say, well, the client preview is scheduled for this date. If not, we can click this to be determined so it doesn't slow down the system. If the job was associated with a show, then we could click here and pick a show, and the shows that are in the future that are in the system would be in here for now, or we could add a show if we wanted to, and that would take us to a whole window where we could add information about the show. If we were to pick a show, let's just pick one, then the system will automatically enter the venue for us. If there's staging required, we'll say so here. If there's training required, we can say so here. If there's some various questions, and then we can put comments in here. This is a new test job, and then we can submit without files. If we submit without a file, then we get a message that says, oh, well, client need date must be less than show date must be greater than client need date. So these are validations that are built into the system. So you can see I picked a show date of 12/23, but I picked a need date of 12/25. Well, the system's not going to let me do that, so I'll go ahead and say the show date is the 26th. And now I can try to submit again, and the job has been created. Now, where did that job go? Where that job went was to the queue to view new jobs. And here we can see the new jobs that are waiting to be assigned. Here's the one that I just created right here. I could go and view it and see the information about the job, or I can assign it. And here I can go ahead and assign it. I can assign it to a project manager, and I'll just go ahead and assign it to PM. This is our test project manager. And then I have to choose a complexity. And there's various things that are driven by whether the job is complex or not. And just to understand, I'll go ahead and call it a simple job, and I'll save that. And now the job is no longer in the new job queue. So I've created the job, and if I go and I look at our events, job name 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the client company, and if I just click this, then it will show me the details of the job.